I'm Brittany, this is Eddie, and welcome to Gaywatch, where we watch gay things. Today is episode 4 of Young Royals. Everything has changed. Literally everything has changed. I love me a good midpoint turn in a show or a story. Kind of anything with a narrative, really. I love a good, hard midpoint turn that really changes the game and just elevates everything to a whole new level. The tension goes way up from when we were kind of just playing around before, and now things get serious. And this absolutely has a devastating midpoint turn. I can't even fathom all of the things that this changes. But I'm gonna hit play, and I'm gonna find out. Oh, God. Oh, God.
Vi ses ju snart.
Never mind, I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't... No. I mean, I will, but I don't wanna. I don't fucking want to.
I free my eyes at the start of time. Maybe this is an obsession.
No, 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 if you think we're not talking about that. Okay, see, I also love a good title moment. I hate this show. And while they've already been giving me good title moments, very kind of like somewhat jarring, which just says a whole lot of things that we're not going to get into right now because of what they just fucking did differently. That was an entirely different approach to the title of the episode. In almost every single way possible. It's an outline, it's not filled in. The outline is drawing itself, it's appearing, it doesn't just appear full formed. It was also like too big for the screen, it was out of focus. And of course they choose a devastating shot of my grieving son to put that title over. And the music choice was entirely different from the previous 3. They really... Okay, the gloves are off. All right, I get it. Message received. The gloves are fucking off. They're not playing around anymore. They're going to come for blood. Okay, I'm picking up what you're putting down. I got it, I got it. I'm not gonna live through it, but I understand.
Jo, imorgon, om du vill och det känns bra så skulle du kunna vara med på morgonmötet så vet du hur det går till.
Oh, God. See, that's the other thing. I'm gonna be pausing a lot. I know I am. I already am. That's the thing about people in that position. You can't, it gives you like, on the best of circumstances, it gives you the tiniest window to pause for grief. Like maybe you get a day of a genuine rest period. Like sometimes not even that before now you have to start thinking about these things. Now, like when are you gonna sit on a meeting? It can't fucking wait. Like she says tomorrow if you're feeling up to it. But the fact that she even brought it up means it probably needs to start happening now. Like at that type of extreme level of leadership and responsibility, it doesn't stop. It maybe just like sits down for a second. You get like a little 15-minute break to mourn a family member who you love dearly, and then you have other shit you gotta be doing and figuring out now because you're responsible.
Jag tänkte att
And he's like, what, 17? I'm fine.
det kan vara bra
You know,
att komma tillbaka till Hillerska. Du känner dig trygg.
there's an idea.
Vad säger du om det?
Also, we'd have no show if he didn't, but
Du är en förebild nu. Inga fler misstag.
starts now while you're having a grief dinner around the kitchen table.
Bli jämförd.
Yup. You get to live in his shadow for the rest of your life, doing a job that you never wanted and thought you would never have. Congratulations. Also, that was brutal. That was brutal for him to actually say in this moment. But you know what? That happens. That I have witnessed it myself. You get a grieving family and shit just comes out that people never would have verbalized otherwise. It really happens. It's not just something dramatized. It happens in the most simple, brutal ways. Too real. This is way too real. Does he have... Because I've only ever seen one other person pinch their skin like that. And that was a friend of mine in high school who was arguably she was just as skinny and just as fit as him. I've only ever seen that pinch in one context. And that's when they believe it's excess. When it's fucking skin. You can't get any... There's nothing to... You will always be able to... Your skin is malleable. You will always be able to pinch something off of it. Your skin is elastic. But they don't see it that way, and that is indicative of some form of disordered thinking. Which I think is about to get piled on to his psyche. Would make sense, though, as image-driven as he is and is in some ways forced to be. Also, how fucked up is that? That is, I just realized that it is kind of fucked up. That his dad was like, I think he needs to go back to his boarding school. You know, a place that feels familiar. Not home. Home doesn't feel familiar to him. The place we send him to get an education will comfort him more in his time of grief than being here. Just, we're fathoming. We're fathoming. That was nice. That was a moment of humanity from August, kind of. The framing. This shot in general. Genius. Beautiful. Heart-wrenching. I'm psychotic. I'm never gonna get over it. Okay. All right. I don't think I've ever actually broken down a shot. I've been doing it a lot on Killer and Healer and After Dark on Patreon because the cinematography of that show is feral. But I gotta point it out. Look at how fucking small he is in this frame. Okay? The chandelier is bigger than he is. He is pleasantly framed by the door, right? You've got some nice straight lines by the door. You have, of course, the Brother Memorial over here, which is fucking heartbreaking. But in general, it's a pulled back shot to make him seem as small as possible. He's tiny when he's giving this, when he's having this moment, when he's making this speech. He is not even remotely a powerful figure, a really terribly, distinguished. He's not imposing. He's not, he hasn't assumed this role of whatever. He is like a 17-fucking-year-old boy, if that, possibly 16, having to stand here and make a speech after all of this to these people in what must be the most confusing and complicated state of being he has ever experienced. He is not big and large in this moment. He is a tiny boy in big circumstances, dwarfed by his surroundings, including this fucking chandelier. This was deliberate. I've realized I've gone filmmaker brain on you. I'm so sorry. This was deliberate. They are sitting literally across an aisle from each other. They are across a chasm. And there's also some, beautiful depth to this shot. We go through the doors, back there. We're going all the way back there somehow. There's like chandeliers to mark the way, but that's beside the point. They're literally sitting across a chasm, and he's trying to reach out literally across the aisle to reach him. Also, even the way they were sitting was deliberate. Simon facing him, Wilhelm not angled away. It's actually better in situations like this to offer specifics as opposed to being like, let me know if you need anything. Like offering specifics. Hey, can I do the dishes for you? Can I get you something to eat? Do you need some tea? Like specifics. Because when you're in that kind of grief, it's very overwhelming, and when someone says we can do anything, then it just becomes kind of white noise. But you give someone specifics and then they can, not that I have any experience with grief. The unsteady step back is going to haunt me for weeks. But no, overwhelmed doesn't even, like, is the understatement of the century when we're talking about Wilhelm's state of mind at the moment. Can you imagine all of this happening while he was in the middle of getting to know somebody he liked and figuring out his sexuality, and because he was the second son, having just the faintest glimmer of hope that maybe he could finagle that in some way, make that work with, you know, his standing in PR? Like maybe there was the tiniest shred of hope, and then it gets crushed. But you're still in the middle of figuring out your sexuality. You still have all of that part of you still rolling around in your head, along with grief and an overwhelming new sense of responsibility. It is a mess. This boy's head is a mess. I want them to be friends so bad. Plenty of people do, August? Oh my God, your insecurities. Cursed heterosexual pairing. It was smart to have her get together with him because he does resemble like everything that she thinks she wants in a relationship, which is status and image, and you know, he can give me kids of high standing and all that jazz. He like perfectly embodies everything wrong that she's looking for. And so for her to go through this phase of, you know, finding what she thinks she basically, I totally get it from a narrative standpoint. It is absolutely warranted. Still cursed, but you know, I get it. No, she's not right. I'm confused. What the fuck? Yeah. What? Oh my God, August is exhausting. Is that why they named him August? Because it sounds like exhausting? Did I just connect a dot? That, line, that pole, that beam, literally splitting Wilhelm from the group? Fucking intentional.
Med sällskapets ändamålsbeskrivning.
Agree to a lifetime of nepotism.
Utslocknandet av sällskapets adliga släkten.
Ooh, I don't like that. No, that's a lifetime of nepotism and no.
Man behöver vara adlig och förstfödd man.
Adlig och förstfödd man.
Till exempel Per, han äger, lyssna upp mig nu. 5500 hektar utanför Lund. Det är inte dåligt. Nej.
Hang on one second. Ah! Don't introduce drugs to a fucking grieving person.
Jag ska inte fungera som människa just nu.
You're not, actually.
För att min...
It kind of looks like you are, but you're not.
Här är jag och krökar liksom.
Grief is weird. Grief is one of the weirdest things. He won awards for this, right? He's going to win awards for this. Maybe not that, but you know.
Men jag tycker om dig. Och det är inte på låtsas liksom.
please, if we could just hold on to Simon, it'll be okay.
Alex?
I can't even cry over this beautiful love scene because they're about to do this to me. Did I fucking lie about the gloves coming off? Was I wrong? Was I incorrect in any way? I have to go do a live stream in like 13 minutes. I was like, I'll just, catch an episode of Young Royals. I'm curious to see how the fuck this bomb goes off and how it affects everything. I'll just watch Young Royals before I do a live stream. That's fine. I already wasn't expecting anything like this about Young Royals. Like, the icon is like, two boys forehead touching, right? And it's called Young Royals, and it had a kind of, I was like, okay, I mentioned this at episode 1. I was not expecting anything really like this. And then now, so it feels extra surprising and strange that they've gone this, not just good, but just emotionally, you know what? I'm incoherent, which is great because I have to go live in 12 minutes. So I need to collect myself in order to go do that. But maybe, if I'm lucky, I'll be able to put 2 sentences together at the start of Young Royals episode 5, which I will come back for as soon as I possibly can. And in the meantime, please, for the love of freaking God, take care of yourselves. And I'm going to repeat it. Please take care of yourself. Please. Please.